Hi, I'm Kelsey, the Youth Services Librarian here at the Detroit Lakes Public Library, and I'm going to talk to you today about our Fandom Fair that we have coming up in February. So, first of all, what is a fandom and what is a Fandom Fair? Well, a fandom is pretty much anything that has a fan base. So, if you're a fan of the Minnesota Twins or the Vikings, you are part of their fandom. And fandom is a term that's used kind of more when it comes to literature, kind of things that are considered a little more nerdy. And so, the Fandom Fair we're having here in February is a chance for teens to really explain and kind of show their passion for things that they are fans of. And so the Fandom Fair works kind of like a science fair where we're asking teens to create their own displays that explain their fandom. And so some examples of some things you'd have in the Fandom Fair here. I've got some books of some really popular fandoms right now. For example, Game of Thrones is really, really popular, the book series and the TV show. So if you wanted to make a display for that, your displays can be as small as you want them to be or as big as like a trifold display you'd see kind of at a classic science fair. So for Game of Thrones, maybe you really, really like the weapons they have in Game of Thrones. So you can make a really neat display that shows some of the weapons they have in the Game of Thrones series. Here, another book series that's really popular that I'm also part of this fandom, I'd say, is the Ranger's Apprentice series. So that's a really great one. You could talk about maybe ranger skills, or you could talk about different characters in the story, that kind of thing. And then over here I've got some more books. Now, for our Fandom Fair, we really want you to be creative and just kind of go with anything that you're passionate about. So it doesn't have to be limited to things that are fictional. They can be topics that are true. So I, myself, I'm a farmer when I'm not a librarian, and so I absolutely love farming. And there are a lot of books about farming, so if I wanted to make a display about animals or farm equipment or anything like that, that would definitely qualify for the Fandom Fair. Here is something that's definitely nonfiction, even though it has fictional stories in it. Saturday Night Live. I've been a big fan of that pretty much my whole life. So if you wanted to, you can make a display talking about the different casts through the season, or maybe show what sketches you think have been the best sketches of all time, anything like that. And as I said, it can be as simple or as complex as you like. Here on the end too, something else, I'm definitely part of this fandom, is Parks and Recreation, and that of course isn't really a book series. However, Leslie Knope wrote a book about her town, and it is actually a book you can check out here at the library. So this would work too to talk about in your fandom. So just a couple of things that you want to be aware of. To enter into the Fandom Fair, you have to be a teen, so you have to have teen in your age, between 13 and 19, to enter in the Fandom Fair. And the fair itself takes place on February 26th, but your display is due anytime between February 18th and 25th. So we're trying to give you lots of time to start working on your displays here. And then your display will be on display in the library for a week after the Fandom Fair. So aside from just taking time to do something really cool and spend a lot of your spare time making a display about something that's really fun, there's also some cash prize incentives for making a display for the Fandom Fair. First prize for the Fandom Fair is $50 in cash. Second prize is $25. Third prize is $25. And then we also have a People's Choice Award for $25 as well. So we really just want to encourage you to take part in this Fandom Fair, get your friends to do it. It can be a lot of fun. I know one of our other librarians, she wanted to enter something in the fair and asked if she could make a display of all the actors who played Mr. Darcy in Pride and Prejudice over the last few years. If you want to do something like that, that's absolutely great. We'd love it. Let's see, just make sure in your display you don't include anything that might be stolen. So if you've got some really cool action figures, maybe don't include them in your display for the Fandom Fair, because we're not going to be able to monitor the displays during the whole fair. And you just have to sign up in advance for the Fandom Fair. Really simple, just stop into the library and go to the front desk, and you just sign your name, your age, and what fandom you'll be representing, and then you're all signed up and eligible to win some really cool prizes. So if you have any questions, make sure you just stop into the library, and I really hope you guys will take part in our first ever Fandom Fair. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.